we're up bright and early. It's 7:15 right now. We're going to be heading out to the buffet for breakfast in a bit. I want to show you what the morning looks like. Sounds like it's sprinkling some. We're supposed to be getting rain today. But you can hear all the birds. It's pretty cool. Our plan for today is after we have breakfast, we're going to go catch our trains for our shuttle, and we're going to go to the Tulum Ruins. Hopefully, since we're supposed to be getting rain all day today, hopefully we can get in and out before at least we have a downpour. So let's go see how all that goes, and we'll see you soon. We're walking the trail to breakfast. We've already seen a couple little animal friends. Oh, there's another one right there. They're just starting to wake up. Good morning, little guy. Just walks right in front of us. This is one of the bars. Okay, we're gonna head to breakfast. Buffet breakfast. I was able to get an omelet also. Welcome. Oh my goodness, hello little guy. Aren't you a cutie? Look at you, you're cute. Aww. We just had breakfast at the buffet, and now we're heading back to the room so we can get ready to go on our excursion to go see the Tulum Ruins. It's really pretty around here. And the animals, here's another one. That's the baby one. We're going to be heading in a little bit, but I want to give a review on breakfast real quick before we go. We ate at La Papa, I think it was, which is the buffet restaurant. Other than room service, that's the only place to have breakfast. It's a buffet. They have where you can make omelets, and they'll make you fresh eggs, and then this like tortilla with cheese, kind of like a quesadilla type thing. Everything else is this in the hot plates or whatever. It was okay. Well, I've had better buffets, I've had better breakfasts, but it's food. But if you're a foodie, this breakfast would probably not be your cup of tea. I did hear that the beloved breakfast, when you're in the premier area, that their food is a lot better. So that might be an option if you decide to come to this resort. Everything's very nice. The view is beautiful. I love seeing all the animals and stuff. The food is just kind of mediocre. Last night's dinner wasn't bad. And we're going to have the steakville at the steakhouse tonight for dinner. We got reservations for that. And then we may go, I think it's Sorrento's, over by the pool for lunch today. They got some sandwiches and pizza and stuff like that, so we might try that out. Or we may even get room service. Depends on what time we get back from the ruins, and if we got wet from the rain or if we're tired or whatever. So I think it's like a 90% chance of rain. So there's a chance we're going to have thunderstorms today. But yeah, we're just enjoying this as we're here. We had a bird that sat on our balcony earlier. And we saw a lot of animals on our way to breakfast there and back, which we enjoy. But it's very pretty and very peaceful here. Hear lots of bird sounds. So the garden view is proved to be very, very relaxing. We enjoy that a lot. It is now pouring down rain. We're heading to the ruins. Hopefully it'll stop before we get there. I think we're about 10 minutes away or so. It looks like the rain is slacked off a little bit, so hopefully we won't get any more rain. Okay, we're entering the Tulum Ruins. Okay, we're at the Tulum Ruins. And it is raining. the little shopping area. Thank you. Outside the gift shop when you first walk in. Tulum National Park. We're about 2 kilometers or roughly 1.2 miles from the entrance of the Tulum Ruins. You can walk the path or take the shuttle, which is what we chose to do. Just a heads up, plastic bottles aren't allowed inside the ruins, so make sure to bring a reusable container for your water. It's an elm tree. They make paper out of it. When you visit, make sure to bring bug spray. The mosquitoes were pretty bad, especially with the rain, so it definitely helps to be prepared. That's a huge tree.
A map of Tulum. You see, Tulum. The name Tulum is the popular name. It means fortress. The city was protected with a wall. This is the wall. See? 3 sides of the city, they are protected with that wall. This is north, west, and south. And on the east side is the open Caribbean. When we walk around there, probably you're going to see the waves crashing on the natural coral reef, the natural protection of the city. So this was completely protected. Tulum Fortress, popular name. The original name of the city, Sama. Sama, the city where the sun rises. The city was discovered by the second Spanish expedition, 1518. The city was still occupied, and it's when the Spaniards talk about Tulum on a chronicle. They say on that chronicle something resplendent at the distance, something evil, they say on the chronicles. And then they say, what a surprise when we found a city with buildings perfectly leveled, painted inside and outside, brilliant, vibrant colors, full of energy. They say on the chronicles, the Indians put plaster to the walls. When the plaster is still wet, it is painted. Now we know when the plaster dried, the painting was already absorbed by the limestone, and this is what we know now as a fresco technique, and that's why some of the buildings, when you get closer, you're going to find remains of the original colors on some of them. They talk about palaces, temples, and tombs. The population inside, it was estimated in about 300 people living inside the walls, but they were the aristocracy, the elite, the noble class, the very important people. The other people, worker class, farmers, illiterate people, they were outside behind the walls. They were living in thatched roof houses, and the whole population was estimated in about 5,000 people when the Golden Age. Finally, Tulum was abandoned around 1527. Is when this man, Hernán Cortés, the conqueror of this country, he came back to the peninsula after the foundation of Mexico. The foundation of Mexico, 1521, 6 years later, Cortés came back and it's when they started the conquest of the Mayas. The last cities were abandoned. Mayas, they went more inland to fight against the conquistadores, and the vegetation was growing on top of the entire city. 1840, two adventurers, a lawyer from New York and an architect from England, they visited several Mayan cities, including Tulum. Then they published a book, and it was after that book when the Maya land became popular. First archaeologists came here in 1920. Archaeologists from Carnegie Foundation of Washington at the beginning. So all this, what we're gonna see now, was partially restored, but they didn't use copies. This is the original stone, limestone, soft, easy to work with, but which makes more incredible these people in America is the fact that they never knew hard metals. Everything was made by hand, using lithic tools, stone tools, and also they were completely isolated. They never took anything from anyone else. Whatever they knew, whatever they left, it was developed by themselves, and this makes more incredible not just the Mayas, but the Incas in Peru, the Aztecs, the Toltecs, all these brilliant cultures in America. But among all of them, the Mayas, they have been considered the most fascinating group on the new continent. Remember 5 original entrances. This is one of the original entrances on the north. This is the wall. What you can see here, it was at least twice higher than this one.
Okay. Wow.
So now we are inside Tulum. The larger rooms like this one, with a roof now, they were palaces of the ruling families. The smaller buildings which still have a roof, they were temples where they worshipped God.
This structure once served as a palace for the ruling elite, an important center of power in the ancient city. The working class residents lived outside of the walled city, while only the elite and important officials occupied the protected inner area.
This is the entrance to one of the underground rivers, the entrance to one of these cenotes. Not a water supply, it's so close to the ocean that it's still saltish water, but out there we have hundreds. You can look, this is, remember the peninsula emerged from the ocean about 60 million of years ago. We have thousands of underground rivers like this one.
Oh, wow.
There is one of the palaces up there. The view from there is spectacular. That is the palace.
And what is this in here? Entrance?
This is one of the other, remember 2 entrances
Yeah.
on the north. This is one of those entrances.
Casa del Cenote. That's really cool. This blocked off doorway right here was one of the northern entrances into the walled city, guiding people into the heart of ancient Tulum. Casa del Cenote, or House of the Cenote, is one of the most interesting structures at the Tulum Ruins. Even though it sits right beside a cenote, our guide explained that this one wasn't used as a fresh water source because it's so close to the Caribbean Sea, making the water too salty to drink. Instead, it likely held ceremonial or spiritual importance, since cenotes were considered sacred gateways to the underworld in the Mayan culture. Its location shows just how deeply connected the Mayans were to both nature and their beliefs.
Here you need to use your imagination. The city occupied, beautiful colors on the buildings, mostly red and blue. Red was usually associated to the sun god. The metal was gold, and it was symbolizing the manpower. Blue, the moon. Silver, the material intelligence of woman. You see everyday visitors come and they ask usually the same questions, and one of the questions of every day, if the Mayas were so advanced, if they had all that knowledge, where is that people now? Where is that knowledge now? Many visitors, they think that Mayas simply disappeared and nobody knows where they went. Many other people think the Spaniards came and killed all the Mayas. In a program of Discovery Channel a few weeks ago, they were talking about the Mayas, and at the end they said, probably the Mayas opened a door to another dimension.
This is one of the 4 watchtowers built to guard and monitor the city.
Oh, this is the national cactus, nopal. It's on the Mexican flag. Probably you remember the Mexican flag?
Yeah.
On the white section, the middle, there is one of these cactus. There is an eagle eating the snake. See, that is the symbol of the foundation of Mexico.
Huh.
It's one of the guardhouses, but it's also known as Temple of the Wind God.
Oh, look, here's some water.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
Around the year 1300, Tulum became the major commercial hub along the coast. The Mayans brought gold, silver, and jade here from regions as far as Panama, Honduras, and central Mexico. In return, they exported valuable goods like honey, wax, and cocoa beans. The shoreline was the main landing area. You can imagine small canoes arriving with all that precious merchandise ready to be transported. From here, everything was carried by the land to Coba, about 40 kilometers or roughly 25 miles away. Coba served as the main distribution center for the region. Before COVID, visitors were allowed to swim in this area, but today it's a protected zone to help preserve the sea turtles that nest along the coast. That's been doing great. This building was the palace of the governor. This was home to the one who was in charge of how the city operated. You would have entered through a small courtyard, and inside there was a few rooms with wooden beams holding up the roof. There's even a little sanctuary here with the descending god, which was a really important symbol here. This place was built when Tulum was at its peak, sometime between the 1200s and the 1500s. Even though a lot of the color has faded, you still see hints of how impressive it used to be.
This is one of the temples. They didn't live inside. The Spanish people, they say on the chronicles, the Indians, the most important ones, they go inside, they duck down in a high reverence because their gods are living inside. They sit in a lotus position and they practice long periods of fasting, meditation, sexual abstinence. They talk about a whole ritual. They were burning incense inside, and bloodletting was very common. Seems like blood was the magic key to open the communication to the gods. In the archaeology, they say places of transition between the physical to the spiritual, temples where they receive the messages of their gods. This building is beautiful painted inside. It's blue, indigo blue. and beautiful designs, constellations, stars, and the moon.
This structure is called the Temple of the Descending God. Right above the entrance, you'll see a carving that looks like a man upside down. That's the Descending God, and it's one of the most important symbols here in Tulum. This little temple was built during Tulum's peak, somewhere between the 1200s and the 1500s. And even though it's small, it held a lot of religious meaning for the ancient Mayas. It's pretty amazing to see how much detail they put into a structure this size. This structure is called El Castillo, or the castle. It's the tallest and the most famous building in Tulum, sitting right on the edge of the cliff with an amazing view of the Caribbean. Even though it's called a castle, it was actually a temple and possibly a navigation marker for the Maya traders traveling along the coast. The small openings on the front may have helped guide canoes safely through the reef to the landing area below. The building was expanded over time and used for important ceremonies. You can still see the staircase and some of the original carvings in stucco, which give you an idea of how impressive it used to look. It's definitely the standout spot here at the Tulum Ruins. So he said like 12 years ago they stopped letting people go down here apparently on the beach. This is one of the buildings where the most important residents of Tulum lived. It consists of several large rooms that were covered with flat roofs supported by columns, which supported cross wooden beams in a mixture of gravel, limestone powder, and sand known as calcrete. It has benches along the walls which were used as seats and probably beds. And the back is a sanctuary where the family performed their religious ceremonies. Archaeologists call this construction palace because it is where the great lord and his family lived. There's a handprint up there. On the corner of this building, you can see a carved face. You can make out the chin, the mouth, and the nose. And on this one, the eyes are open. If you look at the opposite corner, there's a similar face but with the eyes closed. Together, they symbolize life and death. Up in the upper chamber on the left side, you can see the red handprints. These are original. The red color symbolizes blood, fertility, and life. Inside the building, there's also a few black handprints, and those represent death. It's really interesting to see how the Mayas used these symbols to tell a story wrought in the walls.
Inside the building, unfortunately now, because those metal supports, we cannot see much of a painting inside. There is a painting about 1,000 years old, and the central motif is an old woman, beautiful dressed, and she is the old goddess of pregnancy, fertility, the old goddess Ishchel. Take a look about the third entrance. Can you see the legs, part of the dress and color of one of these man-and figures? Let's move a little bit here, so you can see before the last entrance. Take a look before the last entrance, two figures in a very interesting position. They are the magic queens, duality. And you see the big face, below the cornices, the chin, the mouth, the nose like an eagle nose, typical of the American Indians. And on each side of the nose, you can see the two eyes with remains of color.
Did you know that the name Tulum comes from the Maya word for wall, and it was a fortified city with access by land and sea, making it a key trading spot? It also has an important religious side, especially with the worship of the descending god shown in murals and carvings. And right here is an empty tomb. There's no body, but it's clear that it was meant for someone important, maybe a ruler or a priest.
Well, this has been a good tour. It hasn't been too bad.
Yeah,
The rain hasn't. Yeah.
So the beach area that you could walk down to was closed at the pandemic and hasn't reopened. The other area was closed about 12 years ago due to the turtles. That was really interesting. It's the wall that protected the city. So before you get to the ruins, there's like this little shopping area. There's a gift shop and restaurants, ice cream. All this stuff's around that you can spend time with. And now we're going to be heading to the museum next. He gave us 20 minutes to look in the gift shop. And then they also got tequila tasting if you want that. And then we'll head on over to the museum, and then I think our tour lasts till 2 o'clock, they said. Included in our tour with the Tulum Ruins was also the Tulum Museum that had just recently opened. It was only about a 5-minute drive away from the ruins.
Tequila! Riviera Maya, Tulum. You're welcome, family. Hija, excelente. Very nice. Esta.
Oh, let's get in here. Many of these things, the most of them, they are original. Some are copies. The most of the pottery, what you're going to see here, it was not for the everyday life. It was ceremonial.
This is original pottery that was found. This is in excellent condition. Amazing how good of condition it's in. Museum tour was included in our Tulum Ruins tour. We booked through M-Star, but King Passion is who's running the tour.
With air conditioning.
Yes.
You see,
The bifacial knives and river stones. So here's the prayers for an abundance of food. This is everyday utensils. Here are the Mayan women. And here's some the women's attire. Here's the society and daily life. Recording the victory. This is a sky bearer.
the jaguar was the symbol of power among the Mayas.
Symbol of
The
power.
most powerful cat in the jungle. These figures came from Central Mexico with other people, the warriors. You see the people, military orders. It was a messenger of the gods. They put the offerings here. The offerings were usually human hearts. And this is a butterfly here. In a symbolic flight, the butterfly takes that offering to the gods.
It's blood for the gods. All the oars. This is the family rituals. This is a really fascinating museum. We have a lot of great artifacts and stuff. This tour was a lot more than what we were expecting, which is really cool. On our way out, we ran into a few iguana friends soaking up the sun. We walked into our room and have this special little towel thing, like a blanket
with fresh flowers on it. That's pretty cool. It's a great way to walk into your room.
I love when a resort adds those special little touches.
All right, we've gotten back from our tour. And now we're gonna head on down to the pool area and eat some lunch. We're gonna try someplace different today. I think they have like sandwiches and pizza or something, so we'll see what they have. Hello, little friend.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
First, let's go to get us a drink at the tequila bar.
In the main lobby, and we came to the Margarita's bar to get a coffee for a mid-afternoon pick-me-up. I got a cappuccino, and he's gonna get a latte, I believe.
We're all cleaned up and ready for dinner. I wanted to give you kind of an update of our afternoon. So we went to the Tulum Discovery Express tour, and I booked it through Amstar, but it was ran by another company, which was something Passion, I forget who it was now. A very good tour. So they picked us up at 9:30 at the hotel. It was like a 30-minute drive from the Catalonia Royal Tulum to the Tulum Ruins. We got there, we went to a little gift shop area because it was raining and stuff, so the other two people that were with us, there was only a total of 4 of us. The other 2 people needed to buy some raincoats and stuff, so they got their raincoats while we were there since it was raining, and then we headed on out and did the tour. We were there, I don't know, the whole tour lasted from 9:30 till we got home back here at the hotel like at 1:30. So once we did that, we went on into did the ruins and stuff. He walked us all around, gave us a tour of everything, and then once we were done, we came back. I guess we were good, maybe there a good hour, if not more, and he showed us everything. Then we came on back to the gift shop. We could buy any gifts or whatever we wanted while we were there. It gave us like 20 minutes or so to shop. And then we got back in the van and drove over to the new museum that just opened. And it was super nice. It was like 4 different little areas or rooms or something that we went to. And it had a lot of the original pottery that they had dug up, and it had a lot of really cool stuff. So I did a lot of video and pictures and stuff of that. So that was really cool. So once that was over, we headed on back here, back to the hotel. We got here about 1:30, and we came back up to the room, changed, and got out of our wet stuff. So our shoes and stuff were wet, put our backpack up and everything. Then went on down to, I believe it was called Sorrento's, which was near the pool, for lunch. That was probably one of the better meals that we've had while we were here. We both got chicken sandwiches, which were pretty good. The nachos were kind of odd. We got the nachos with cheese and chicken, and it was just like some cold melted cheese that was poured on top of some chicken and stuff. I mean, it was okay, but it was kind of odd. We had that, and then once we finished that, we came on back to the room, relaxed a little bit. We went ahead and went on downstairs to the lobby bar and got some coffee. We got a cappuccino and a latte, which was pretty good. After we had that, we came on back up to the room and started getting ready for dinner. So it's only like 6 o'clock right now, and our dinner's at 7:30, and we're going to be eating at the steakhouse tonight. So we're looking forward to that. While I'm thinking about it, for those of you that are Coke drinkers, they only have Pepsi products here, and the only diet sodas they have is the Diet Pepsi. So they don't have any Coke products or any other kind of diet sodas, just that's all they have. And in the
they have bottles of big old glass bottles of water. In our room, we had one by the coffee maker, and then we had 2 in our refrigerator. So we had 2 or 3 big bottles of water, and then sodas and some beer, and then we had some snacks and stuff. So we had like some chips and some cookies and some peanuts and stuff. So we had all that in the refrigerator when we arrived, and they've restocked it since. So everything's been great so far. We're having a good time. The rain has finally stopped, thankfully, and we will see where we go to from dinner. Talk to you soon. This is currently my view. I'm still hoping to see a monkey. They say they have spider monkeys, but I haven't seen one yet. We're sitting in the lobby enjoying some drinks. Dinner, so we're having at Steakville tonight, which is just right over here to the right. And here's for dinner tonight. All right, we came in and we have our turn down. They put the robe down and the slippers over here and just turned the bed down some. So what's odd here is they don't have blankets. All that we have is a sheet on the bed, which I think is so strange. Along with turn down service, she also came and brought us some fresh towels and stuff too, and freshened up the bathroom a little bit from when we took a shower earlier. Oh, we just got back to the room. We had turned down service, and we're going to relax. We had a great dinner at Steakville. I had steak. Mark had some chicken. We had our appetizers, which I had a really good lobster cream soup, and then we both got Caesar salads, and then we got dessert. So I brought my cheesecake back to the room and stuck it in the fridge for later because I was too full to eat it right now. They've got a rock show or something, a music show that starts at 9:30, but we're tired after waking up early this morning, so I don't think we're going to be able to see that, but that's going to be in the lobby. And we don't have really anything planned for tomorrow. We will probably go to the pool and kind of enjoy some of the amenities at the hotel, since we didn't get to really do that yet. And hopefully we won't have rain and it'll be a better day weather-wise than what today was. But it was a good day. The dinner tonight at Steakville I think was a lot better than last night at Ruxa. It just was a better selection and stuff of food, but the staff has all been phenomenal. Everything's been super, everyone's been super sweet, very kind. And we asked and said that the hotel is at an 82% occupancy. It doesn't feel full at all. And we had absolutely no problems making reservations on the first day for our dinners and stuff. We were able to get all of our choices that we wanted, so it was all good. I also wanted to mention that instead of having a room key or whatever, that they have you wear these little bracelets like this, and this is what gets us into our room. It's we put it up against the door, and that's what we get into our room with. And that's also if you want to charge anything or whatever like that. But mostly at all the restaurants and at the gift shop, they just asked our room number, and they knew who we were and stuff from there. So we haven't had to do anything else. But it's been a great second day, and we had a good time at the ruins, and we were able to see a lot, and we've had good food. So until tomorrow, please like and subscribe for more content and videos. Bye.